What do we do with Aaron Judge?
He's done it again. See ya. A monster home run. Can't keep him in the park.
That's a question opposing teams are asking as they again try to figure out how to pitch, or even whether to pitch, to Judge in the midst of his sizzling start to the 2025 season. But it's also a question those of us in the world of baseball discourse are asking of ourselves. Because to properly contextualize, summarize, and put words to what we've witnessed from Judge at the outset of this season, over the last calendar year, and in his increasingly legendary career, is no easy feat, if you want to give his performance the kind of description it deserves. So let's just keep it simple at the start. There has never been a right-handed hitter like Aaron Judge. Now, to be clear, we're not in the anointing business over here. We're not going to claim that you should put Judge above the right-handed likes of Willie Mays, Henry Aaron, Joe DiMaggio, Rogers Hornsby, Frank Robinson, Albert Pujols, or Miguel Cabrera if you're playing the ranking game. Judge is having an incredible career, but it's one that launched relatively late, with his Rookie of the Year run in 2017 coming at age 25. He's also had various bang-ups and hang-ups, with 4 seasons in which he did not play more than 112 games. And of course, this is the part of the program where someone is undoubtedly screaming at their screen, "What about the postseason?" Don't worry, we hear you. We know that with a 204 average and 86 strikeouts and 220 October at-bats, the Yankee captain still has plenty to prove in the playoffs. But now that we've acknowledged the realities that leave the now 33-year-old Judge short of certain other luminaries when it comes to counting stats and October acclaim, let's take a moment to appreciate, yes, even you Yankee haters, and we know you're out there, what a historic run Judge is on. First, there's the utter absurdity of Judge's recently completed April. You don't have to dig too deep to understand Judge had a monster month. He led the majors in batting average with a .427 mark, on-base percentage with a .521 mark, slugging percentage with a .761 mark, hits with 50, and total bases with 89. He also tied the MLB lead with 10 homers and 29 runs scored. Judge was just the second player ever with 50 hits in the opening month of a season, joining Dante Bichette, otherwise known as Bo's dad, of the 1998 Rockies. Okay, that all sounds pretty good, but if you dig deeper and really consider how Judge's performance relates to the rest of the league in today's offensive environment, it gets even better. In the modern era, dating back to 1901, there have been 2,846 instances of a player logging at least 100 plate appearances in the combined months of March and April. And by one notable metric, the March/April that Judge just put together ranked in the top 6 of those 2,846. The metric we are referencing is from Baseball Reference. It's called OPS+. What it does is take a player's on-base plus slugging percentage, or OPS, and normalize it to the league average set at 100. Judge's OPS plus in the opening month was 260. That means it was 2.6 times better than league average. The only players to have a better start were Barry Bonds in 2002, Larry Walker in 1997, Cody Bellinger in 2019, Jose Bautista in 2011, and Albert Pujols in 2006. Judge's opening month in 2025 stands in stark contrast to his opening month last season, when his .754 OPS made for one of the weakest months of his career. Near the end of that month, Judge made a small tweak to his once open setup, squaring up his stance and then squaring up the baseball. For the rest of the regular season, he was the clear-cut American League MVP. And when combined with his opening month this season, Judge has put together a calendar year, again, excluding October, the likes of which the game has rarely seen. If we take Judge's 158 games from May 1st, 2024 through April 30th, 2025, he put together a combined wins above replacement mark of 13.9, according to Fangraphs. That made him worth at least 3.5 wins more than any other player in that time frame. For the sake of perspective, if that had been a true season, Judge's 13.9 WAR would have ranked second in the modern era, behind only Babe Ruth's 14.7 mark in 1923. In that same calendar year span, Judge's weighted runs created plus, which is similar to OPS plus, was 2.48 times better than the league average. Again, this was not a real season, but if it were, That 248 weighted runs created plus would have been the highest ever in the modern American League or National League, ahead of the best seasons from Babe Ruth and Barry Bonds. To have such a run in a single month or even a single calendar year is one thing, but Judge has been on a historic tear that truly dates back to 2022, the year he broke Roger Maris's single-season AL home run mark with 62.
There it goes! Soaring into history! He's done it! 62!
In 456 games from the start of 2022 to the present day, Judge has hit .313 with 169 home runs and 384 RBI. That put him on an average pace of 60 homers per 162 games over a more than 3-year span. Pretty impressive, considering Sammy Sosa is the only player in MLB history with 360 homer seasons. Judge's 207 weighted runs created plus going back to the start of 2022 means he has been nearly 2.1 times better than league average in that time frame. According to research by The Athletic's Jason Stark, there had never been a right-handed hitter in history with a weighted runs created plus mark at least 2 times better than league average in any 450-game span in the last 100 years. Finally, consider the totality of Judge's career, in which he has produced a weighted runs created plus and OPS plus of 176, both of which are the greatest all time for an AL or NL right-handed hitter with at least 1,500 plate appearances. So no, it's not enough to just look at Judge's counting numbers, even if his home run count tends to get pretty high. A hitter is best judged by the context of his times. And because Judge exists in an era heavy on strikeouts and high voltage bullpen usage, it's important to understand how much his offensive performance blows away the league at large. Then again, Judge has always been difficult to contextualize. Scouts certainly didn't know what to do with him back in 2013 when he fell to the Yankees at number 32 overall in the draft in a compensation pick because so many clubs were fearful that pitchers would exploit his massive strike zone. Clearly, Judge has figured it out. In fact, he's currently on pace to be the largest batting champion ever in terms of both height at 6'7" and weight at a listed 282 pounds. As a prominent person in pinstripes, and a 6'7" one at that, Judge is in no danger of being overlooked. But hopefully numbers like the ones we've presented here help you explain to fellow baseball fans why Judge is so special. Hopefully, in putting his numbers into proper context, we've figured out the best way to handle this extraordinary figure in the sport. As for opposing teams trying to figure out what to do with Judge, well, they're on their own.